Alright, hello pirates. I'm going to show you a little dredge recommendations here. This is how I run the big dredges, minimize repair times, and you'll just get to hear me talk about it while we see a live demonstration with this fleet. So you'll notice I've got two protomasts, well, one protomast, one standard mastodon. Two destroyer X's, probably wondering what the heck those are doing in there. And of course the Frostburn, which is the flag of choice for these. Minimizes the damage that you get from all the incendiary attacks. So what the concept here is, from my perspective, is you keep the ship that's getting shot at away from the mastodons. This minimizes your damage because your mastodons aren't getting hit, not getting splashed, not getting anything. And it's the other ships that you've got that take the hits. And so obviously you can see with the Frostburn, slows down the fast ships, does the retarget for the mastodons. So what's with this Destroyer X, with the Blaze Thrower? Why did I bother with that? Well, this ship is instant repair all the time, based on the amount of armor that I have on it. And the reason for that is so that I can have a fast, free, essentially cannon fodder style ship. And where I use them is on the hulks. There's a variety of ways to do it. You can trigger them and hide behind the island. I see many people doing that very effectively. I don't really like to do that because I do so many dredges that a lot of the times I'm not doing the dredge for myself. I'm doing it for somebody else, and I want to leave a turret for somebody in the alliance to pick up so they get some uranium too. So what I like to do is we'll group down here. I like to be on the opposite side of the hulk from the island, and we'll assemble everybody just outside of Mastodon range. Little fireworks in the background here this holiday weekend. Alright, so we'll send these guys wide at first. Group everybody up. And I like to keep them inside the ring so that, again, they get that protection that the Frostburn gives them. And we'll send them in. Now, I'm using a crew to do extra damage, Deadeye Destroyers. You're getting so much uranium from this, and there's so much damage. It's silly not to roll for something out of the basic crew set at least, to boost damage, boost your evasion, so that you take less damage from these guys. Because the key for me is, I'd like to be able to do 160 every 2 hours, okay, during a dredge day. And it may be, 3 or 4 times, but the idea is to maximize the amount of uranium you get without coining. I know that's crazy for some people, but that's how I play this. Okay, so now you can see I'm angling towards the front, dancing with the Frostburn. You don't want to take mortar hits. You want your ships picking out new targets. And you definitely don't want the Mastodons to get into the position where they're getting, taking shots. So try to keep the Frostburn in between them. The other nasty thing on these things are these Serb launchers. You don't want to get too close to those. You got to get them in range. That's about it. And this is how I do it. Kind of old hat for me now. I've been doing this for a while. I like these targets. It's fun and challenging, and with this fleet, the repair times have gotten to the point of being reasonable. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean that every Protomast, Mastodon, Frostburn fleet is going to be able to do this for this amount of damage. Simply not the case. So the last step, again, the other reason to do it once every 2 hours, you get your medium pinch out. Okay? You grab your fleet, just before you get in touching the dots, you hit the trigger on it. Alright, so the pinch hits him. This way he doesn't wake up while you get into range. You start shooting, you turn around. It doesn't take many of these to hit him to get him to die. And there you go. Unfortunately, he got a round of torpedoes off. We'll see how many of them hit us here. No, none of them, so no big deal. Alright, so we're done. 9830 on the uranium. We'll bring it right home, not far away. And we'll see what the profit is here. Now, obviously I said to do this with minimum damage. The point is to not, to avoid coining. Obviously some people out there can use these tips to help reduce the amount that they're coining. I've heard of people spending as much as $1 or more for a dredge. I think that's kind of silly. I wouldn't spend that much, but maybe you just didn't know you could do it for cheaper, so this will help. Full fleet composition, frostburn. Specials are the key here down at the bottom. Like the reflective coating boosts the evasion, and then my MC3 is actually retrofitted quite a bit, but you can see that gets my penetrating and ballistic defenses substantially higher. Here's the Des-X. It's a real basic build. Build them in a few hours. Blaze thrower just to get the range on them, and it's a light enough to fit. That's what both of those have. Mastodon here, he's real heavy. 8 Siege Z cannons. You can see no evasion concerns again. The goal is this guy doesn't take shots. There isn't even any armor on him, and that's why it's up to skull so fast. Protomass, similar build, but 7 Siege Zs, 3 Strike Bs. Gives it a little extra range for calling in the other target shots, and of course you want as many shots firing out of this guy because some of them will be pinch warheads. And I promised low repair time, so if you're flat coining it, there's a 4 coin repair, no big deal. For me, it's a little longer than the rocket, but in 2 hours I can do another one of these things. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you around the seas.